today. So, Paul, tell us about what music is coming out at the moment. What are you working on?
Well, we spoke a little bit about, this elitist kind of idea that I have that I believe is the reason why opera is not doing so well at the moment.
Yeah.
So during lockdown, after I'd finished in London and when Corona started, I had this time to, start putting together an idea of an album that I wanted to make and some music that I wanted to put out. That kind of encourage a person to maybe appreciate opera because of the music medium that was being used. So I was really, and I'm passionate about that. I was a singer, like, for the Pavarotti Foundation, and Pavarotti was huge in trying to build these bridges between the two worlds of contemporary and classical music. He was a huge promoter of this, and so was Bocelli. Everyone really tries to bring opera to the masses, and that's something that I wanted to do as well. So I made this album called This Is Me, where I sang all of songs that mean something to me, all contemporary songs, in a way that was operatic. And I've continued to do that now, and it's done really well. I've gotten some really good feedback, and now I'm with Ambition Entertainment, who you know well, and I've released this brand new album called This Is Me, which is I love it. Every song means something to me. There's my mum's wedding song that is Bryan Adams' Heaven. I sing that in Italian, very classical, all the way to I Will Do Anything for Love from Meatloaf, which is my mum's favorite song. So I am now just trying to really promote this idea of classical music through contemporary mediums to help bring opera to the masses.
Yeah, so one of my favorite records of kind of all time, and maybe it was back when I was more, singing classical stuff, and I'm actually just trying to actually pull up the exact name so I kind of, pronounce it correctly, but it was an Andrea Bocelli record. It was Romanza. Romanza was one of my favorite records for a long time. Some of the Conte Partiro was
That's
obviously
right.
on that. Vivere. Yeah, there was so many songs on that album. To me, really did live in that it was impressive singing. It was beautiful singing. It was lyrical and it was passionate, and it was someone actually singing,
Yeah,
and then it was arrangements that kind of put that voice in a place that felt more likely to be played on our radios and to be in performance spaces as opposed to on these opera stages. And it kind of, you're right, it did to me feel, listening to it sort of, I related to it more than I did when I listened to a live recording of La Bohème of Puccini singing it. And, there's a couple of arias I would listen to because at the time you go, well, they're the good ones. You've got to listen to them.
Yeah.
The rest just doesn't speak to you. You don't know what's going on. You don't speak the language.
Yep.
So it really was a vehicle for me to appreciate classical music a lot more. So that's very exciting and
that's
good
wonderful.
on you and the team for sort of going down this route.
Yeah, look, I think that's a perfect example of what I hope to do, And, my team behind me, you talk about Romanza, Robin Smith, who's my producer, he wrote so many of those songs for that album, he knows what people in the middle, and he always uses this analogy of the housewife in the middle of Texas, what they think opera is. And it's a lot more than people who actually listen to opera. It's a lot more people, and that's who I really want to bring my voice and music to.
Well, that's so great. Well, thank you for sharing it with Ramble City. Thanks for trying the quiz with me.